So, how should you invest your money for retirement? Let's talk about that in the next Wealth and Whiskey video. Now, welcome to Wealth and Whiskey. I'm Roger Kiger. I've been a financial planner for 30 years, helping people build wealth and protect their legacies, and a fair amount of planning for retirement. So Wealth and Whiskey is about uncovering some truths, maybe a few things that are uncomfortable for some people, but a lot of things that are aged and unfiltered. So there's not much that we don't talk about here. So this week, let's talk about the best ways to invest for retirement. We're going to do this at a pretty high level to make sure that the fundamentals are in place, and then we'll talk about specifics on down the road in some future videos. But when people say, how should I invest for retirement? My first answer is always, it depends, right? Well, what's it depend on? Well, it depends on how old you are. It depends on how comfortable you are with risk. It depends on how much you've saved to this point or how much you can save, right? Because you don't want to go broke in your 30s trying to save for retirement when you've got a family to feed and a house to pay for and all the other bills. Right? It depends on what are the investment choices available in your retirement plan, or do you even have a retirement plan where you work? So there's a lot of things to break down and talk through. But I always believe that if you have a 401k or a company-sponsored retirement plan that's available to you, and especially if there's a matching component in that retirement plan, you should always do that first. Start small. Start investing whatever you can afford without making your financial well-being uncomfortable. But at least put in enough to get to that match level as soon as you can, because that's free money. That's 100% return on the money you put into that account, number one, and it's tax deductible, number two. So the money you put in there reduces the amount of your taxable income every year. So you get a whole lot of benefits, even if there's only a small match of 1 or 2 or 3%. And anymore, those are becoming less and less common. So even if there's not a match, there's still benefit to you putting money into a company-sponsored 401k, simple IRA, 403b, whatever type of plan your company offers. So once you get to that match, then stop. Don't put more in than that until you evaluate a few things. For example, are you in a high deductible healthcare plan that allows you to put money in an HSA? Because if you are, that's the next best place to put your money after you get the match on your 401k. If not, then you can continue to put money into your 401k or your company plan, because the tax benefit, the simplicity, the fact that they just take it out of your paycheck, the ease of a 401k really allows you to just continue to invest on a long-term basis. This isn't a 2 or 3 or 5 year investment. You're going to invest in 401ks or retirement plans until at least age 60, right? So the next thing is, how should you invest it? So it's important to understand that retirement plans are limited by government and compliance in regard to the types of investments they can have. They can only have mainstream type investments that are pretty general in nature, right? Large cap stock, mutual funds or ETFs, large cap bonds, some international, maybe some small company stuff. For compliance reasons, a lot of those plans don't allow individual stocks, AI stocks, a whole lot of really aggressive or individual positions, because that holds the company owner liable for you making a really aggressive investment choice and losing money, which is why, for compliance reasons, a lot of those things just aren't available in a 401k, which is okay. Your 401k should be your core position, or your large cap growth, S&P 500, those types of positions that should be in your 401k. Mostly in the stock market and S&P 500 stuff And depending on how aggressive you are, maybe some of that 30-40% in the bond positions available. If you're not sure how to do that, you can do what's called an age-based portfolio. Those target dated funds have a number after them that correspond with the year that you should retire. And what's beautiful about those is they start aggressive as you're young and they become more conservative for you as you get closer to retirement. So you don't even have to manage them. There's some combination of all the other funds available in your plan. So they're really simple, really easy. Put your money there, forget it, just let it run, right? And I know you might want AI stocks. I know you might want technology or something that's really aggressive, or real estate, or Bitcoins, or those other kinds of things. I had somebody ask me one time why they couldn't buy a CD in their 401k. It doesn't make enough money. So put it in that target date fund and let it run, right? So be aggressive when you're early in the savings part. Maybe that's your 30s, 40s. Some people don't start saving till their 40s or 50s. And then be more diversified as you accumulate balances, as you get closer to retirement, as you're more comfortable with the risk and the volatility. Then you can start buying other positions around that core portfolio. And then as you get closer to retirement is when you're more interested in being a little more conservative, because now it's not about just trying to build it or grow it. It's a little bit about trying to keep what we have, right? We built it in the early years. Now let's grow it a little slower and make sure we don't lose it, like putting all the money in one AI stock that's going to drop 30% every year. Those are the types of things that you don't want as you're nearing retirement. So, and then once you get to retirement, once people retire, most people do not leave their money in those 401ks. Why is that? Mainly because they just don't have all of the investment choices that most people like to see. Number two, they don't work for that company anymore. So while they may be able to continue to use that 401k, it's probably just not the best idea, because accessibility, investment choices, right? Those things are just not convenient if you don't work for the company anymore. So all the benefits that you were getting while you were there, the match, the payroll deduction, that makes it easy. Well, that kind of goes away once you retire. And then it's time to roll it out into an IRA, whether it's with an advisor or at a retail place. But then you can be more specific about your investment choices, more diversified. If you're more conservative, you can buy more conservative things. If you're more aggressive, you can buy more aggressive stocks. So it's much more tailored to you when you retire and roll that money out than it is when it's in a 401k, where it has to have investment choices that are general enough to appeal to the entire workforce in that plan, right? So once you retire, then customize or tailor that portfolio to what your specific needs are as you're close to retirement. So a lot more to come on that, but hopefully that helps on a general timeline and how you should think about managing money to invest for retirement. It's a long-term game. It takes a lot of patience, a lot of diligence, and just let it go, right? So if you need help, start your journey by downloading the Legacy Blueprint in the link below. Please like and subscribe to the Wealth and Whiskey channel, because we don't want you to miss any future episodes. I'm Roger Kiger, and we'll see you again soon, and thank you for your time. Cheers.